Welcome back on Dynamo. Today I want to propose you a video about the review and the spoiler part about the happenings that we can find in the Brocherium saga with Morathi, Teclis, Belacco and Kragnos books. I want to remember you that there will be not in every of such releasing the events that are. So here I'll talk about the main events, what happened, some consequences and something that it's linked to the other parts and so on, but not everything that it's inside because it's quite rich and it's worth to read by yourself eventually. Still, there will be part of the background and some of the links that can interact between each other and so on, starting from Morathi and then moving on. So like you are reading them, so I suggest you to follow such step. So first Morathi, then Teclis, then Belacco and then Kragnos. And really, you can find a lot of information, but still, I suggest you to read the books themselves, because I think that they are really quite amazing and they are worth the reading, and eventually also to make some deeper thoughts with using, for example, Black Library books of the same area of age as releasing. So it's really quite intriguing, because this is going to link the previous Necroquakes, the events that we have found from the Soul Wars, the Maleportents and so on, and then the Necroquake, and then the Brocherians, and we'll see what to continue with. So I think that it's really quite intriguing part. So this is an intro that make you understand what I'm going to bring you. Still, I suggest you to continue to see such video, to see the parts that I explain about, and then seeing the other videos too, so that you can follow everything and continue to understand better this saga that I found amazing, so much that finally I have brought them together. So now we can begin. And first book of the series of 4 of Brocheriums. Here it's Morathi, and it's related all about Morathi and its good path, literally. And I love such of the cover, because the mod it's amazing, but the cover, the artwork, it's something amazing. Even if you don't play this type of armies, it's something that you want to have because it's amazing. I sincerely bought this because I wanted to have the background, because the rules are outdated right now, but the part about the images and the background, it's fantastic. So we can open and we can find a lot of things. Here we have something that is related to Slaanesh, but also Morathi. And if you read, you can find something that it's quite intriguing to see how it does develop in the future. Here we have the contents, and here something that it's quite interesting, because it gives you something that it's about what are the main characters that are presented in here, inside here. So I think that it's really quite useful. And some other things inside that can make you even quite interested, and the artworks are simply fantastic. And here you can find how Morathi has been able to make a sort of alliance with Sigmar, and made a lot of parts related about how Morathi made a sort of trickery to their own parts of armies, and allied with Sigmar and so on. Then how it goes to find a way to reach her objectives, then betray Sigmar, and then make that this can make with the alliance with the armor of Sigmar and the Abyss of Elden Armor. And because I like the Abyss of Elden Armor, it's something that I appreciate quite a lot, the background related about. And so here you can see how it develops and how the characters inside here can be made in a lot of different ways, because you can find that the interaction that you can find here, there are a lot of times where you can find that it has been completely changed, the fluid and so on, the flow of parts. And really here you can see how you can involve a lot of different armies, because for example with the ritual that Morathi used for bringing the goddess to herself, has been able to ally with the Idoneth Deepkin. So it's a way really to create something completely interesting. But after that I done so, and quite a lot of battle, it's a bit of freedom of Slaanesh, so it's also something that can be really quite intriguing to go to read about, and after it's reached the Godhood, it's been able to reach a sort of interesting alliances with the deynontech, for example. But it doesn't only limit it to this, cause it then trying to conquer her own empire, so going to conquer Amvigard, that it's protected by the envies of another hammer, and it's really quite interesting how all the efforts that she does is to control the city and then make that Amvigard it's isolated, so that it can't receive any type of support from near town and from the gates that can bring other Stormcast, but also how it to conquer the city and how it makes that the Stormcast Titans themselves are able to be put in a way that it's not the ability to death for the Stormcast, so they are not able to come back to Sigmar, even if you could ask yourself if it's not possible for the Stormcast themselves to kill themselves, because they would have been able to make such reachable. And so you can find a lot, but what I like also is that after that has been done, so the conquerience on everything related about, there has been a way to make that this type of things has seen a freedom, so that with this novel, for example, you can find that the Brecht, that it's the Veritant, that it's one of the main characters about the envies of Diorama in this book, has been freed, and you can find a lot of interesting part about trying to understand who freed him. So here we have a lot of artwork that are simply amazing, as you can see, and then we have the rules. About the rules, you can play and try to understand, for example, to create your own ones, because they're still, even if not available for the new edition Dominion, still it's anyway a good thing to see how you can proceed. But moreover, there are inside here the way to the descriptions on about Ulgu and Akshi that can be quite useful. But there are also some other little things, because there are little descriptions and so on that can be read and so on to understand better. For example, little like this can be also a way to understand how it has been the campaign itself, so that you can understand better the events and so on. Also, there are a lot of the updates. About here, the main about the updates are related about the parts that you can find, so about the part related about the Dark Ice and so on. But you can find also a lot of background here, so I suggest you to read, because from such lines you can find a lot of descriptions. So okay, the rules are not anymore available, or better, not anymore usable for the game, but you can still play all the older games or adapt them. And anyway, the little background that you can find in the description on are anyway some things that can add a lot to what you can gain from this. So I think that it's quite interesting, because also here we have a part about the identity keeping. So it's also here something outdated, because there's been released about new button about these two. Still, there are a lot of information, and these are the main part, other than the images and so on that I find always amazing to reach and see. So this is a little book, you can see, because it's only the first part of the campaign. Still give you a lot of interesting things, because background, the rules in the way that they can add you a way to see how you could compose, for example, and create your own army, because you can create a sort of a guide. I have here some, we can say, some clue about how you can create, how it can be done, some new things that could be released in the future, because are in the background, and some machineries and so on. So there are a lot of things that are inside here that can be really quite amazing, and the background itself is something that, in my opinion, it's worth to reach for and read. So, from Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.